Thank you.
Now, the group of 7 most advanced economies and the 28-member European Union bloc on Monday backed a plan to generate 300 gigawatts of electricity from renewable sources in Africa by 2030, with a $10 billion United States dollar promise. The funds will be in the form of grants and loans. African nations, led by the continent's development bank, last week launched the Africa Renewable Energy Initiative, which could boost electricity output in the continent where 2/3 of the people lack access to power. Our environmental correspondent Ayola Kasim joins us now. She's covering the Climate Change Summit in Paris. Ayola, thanks for joining us on the program. Tell us more about the Africa Renewable Energy Plan.
Hello, Amara. How are you today?
Fine, thank you.
Well, the African Renewable Energy Initiative was launched on the ambitious plan. That's the African continent last week launched the ambitious plan as the continent's major contribution to the climate conference in Paris. Well, the launch of the initiative, which aims to produce 300 gigawatts of electricity for the continent by 2030, is a demonstration of Africa's leadership in the climate leadership in the United Nations climate negotiations. Well, what we've been told is that the initiative is expected to deliver 10 gigawatts of new and additional renewable energy generation capacity by 2020, and it is expected to mobilize the African potential to generate at least 300 gigawatts by 2030. Well, from the press release we have today from the developed countries, they jointly said that they're supporting this new initiative and they're lauding Africa's efforts. Amara.
Yes, Ayola, thanks for informing us on that. But very quickly, let's talk about what African countries are bringing to the table. We understand today is Africa Day at the Climate Change Summit in Paris. So most of the discussions are focused on Africa. So what's Africa's own perspective that they're bringing to the discussion?
Yeah, really, since the start of this conference, Africa's activity has been unusual. You know, we're used to Africa going cap in hand, but this time the leaders are saying, and they're saying that the polluters, they argue that Africa is polluted by who are most vulnerable to the impact of climate change. They want support for mitigation and adaptation to the impact of climate change. They also want technology transfer and capacity building. They're not here to beg. They are reiterating that at every opportunity, and they are asking for what they call their entitlement.
Ayola, thank you so much for joining us on Network Africa. We do hope to get more from you on the discussions later today.
All right.
Now, in the meantime, food is becoming scarce in Ethiopia. The country is on the brink of a food crisis. At least that's how the Save the Children, a charity organization working in the country, has indicated. It says more than 10 million of the country's citizens will be needing food aid in 2016. That's way higher than the number of people in need of aid this year, which is 8.2 million. A country director for the charity, John Graham, said it estimates that 10.1 million Ethiopians would face critical food shortages in 2016. More than half of those were children, of whom 400,000 would be at risk of developing severe acute malnutrition. Head of Ethiopia's National Disaster Prevention and Preparedness Committee, Mitiku Kasa, says the country has so far spent 3 billion birr from its own coffers on relief efforts, as only a portion of the aid money pledged by donors has been made available. And now the food crisis is being caused by a drought ravaging the country. That's being caused by El Nino weather patterns marked by warming sea surface temperatures in the Pacific Ocean, causing extreme cases such as scorching weather in some regions of the globe. Ethiopia being affected, Malawi we talked about yesterday, as well as heavy rains and flooding in others such as India. And as we end Network Africa, while sex fights and confessionals draw viewers mostly to reality television shows, is a revolutionary portrayal of women as heroes. It makes 1 in 2 Tanzanians watch a homegrown series aimed at raising profile of women farmers. Now, more than 3,000 women vie to star in the 4th series of Mama Shuja wa Chakula, or Female Food Heroes in Swahili. 18 of them were chosen to live together for 3 weeks, their every move scrutinized by millions of viewers in the East African country. On set, an hour outside Tanzania's largest city, Dar es Salaam, the women compete in farming tasks, a treasure hunt, drawing up a village development plan, and setting up rival political parties to vie for elections. Experts also come to talk to them about issues like domestic violence and finance. Agriculture remains a key engine for most African economies, representing a critical source of income and ensuring food security and nutrition, with women comprising almost half of the agricultural workforce in sub-Saharan Africa. The World Bank estimates that giving women farmers around the world equal access to resources such as fertilizer and land could increase farm yields by up to 30%. What that means is up to 150 million fewer people will be going to bed hungry every day. So women farmers are indeed very important to our world. That's Network Africa today. Thanks for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani.